A woman was decorating her apartment, and she needed a new carpet, so she drove down to her local carpet warehouse. After parking her car, she was on her way to the store when she heard some strange sounds coming from a dark alley. When she walked into the alley to investigate, she saw a big, rolled-up carpet. It looked as if someone had just dumped it there. She took a closer look and discovered that it was a very nice and expensive carpet. It looked like it was almost new, in fact. It was exactly what she was looking for. No one else was around, so she decided to take it home with her. As she was dragging it along behind her, she kept hearing noises, but whenever she turned around, there was nobody there. She started to walk faster and faster, but weird noises continued. When she got to her car, she opened the boot and tried to lift the carpet. It was much heavier than she expected, but she just ignored it and eventually managed to wrestle it into the boot. When the woman got home, she dragged the carpet upstairs to her apartment. By the time she got there, she was exhausted, so she put the carpet in the living room and decided to unroll it the next day. After a good night's sleep, she woke up and went into her living room, and she was shocked to discover that it had been completely destroyed. Books were strewn all over the floor, the tables and chairs were overturned, the carpet was lying in the kitchen. The woman was sure she had been robbed, but when she looked around, there was nothing missing. She dragged the carpet back into her living room and set it down. Then, she started trying to clean up the mess. All of a sudden, the carpet unrolled by itself, revealing a dead body inside. The woman was horrified. It was the bloated corpse of a man, and he was rotting and decomposing. Maggots were crawling all over his moldy face. The stench of decomposition was so overwhelming, it made her want to vomit. Then, as she stood there in shock and disbelief, the festering corpse suddenly sat straight up and turned and looked at her. The woman screamed and fled in terror. She ran to the nearest police station in a state of complete panic and tried to tell the officers what she had seen. They didn't believe her, so they decided to come back with her to her apartment to take a look. When they got there, the apartment had been completely destroyed inside. The windows were shattered, the doors were broken off the hinges, and the TV had been smashed. The carpet lay on the living room floor, and there was no trace of a corpse anywhere. The policemen looked at each other and nodded. They told the woman to wait there and they would be right back. Instead, they called up the local mental hospital, and soon enough, a group of men in white suits showed up. They put her in a straitjacket and carried her downstairs. Then they put her into the van and took her to the asylum. As the van was pulling away, the woman glanced out the barred back window and saw the rotting corpse dragging the carpet down the street. She screamed one last time before completely going insane. The men in white suits had to inject her with a sedative. From that day on, she spent the rest of her life locked in a padded cell, babbling and gibbering about the corpse in the carpet.